So, welcome to Task 1 of the British Championships, British Paragliding Championships 2022. First task of this competition, we had a 53 kilometre race with quite a large start speed section around the Grand Bornand takeoff, which was just here, and down to a turn point at the end of the valley here, back towards takeoff, over to here, back across towards a large turn point towards the RV, back towards similar to turn point 1, and then into end of speed section and goal. End of speed section here, sorry, and goal. Now this is the first task I've done for quite a few years now, and I made lots of mistakes on this first task. I don't think I was fully ready and had fully visualised the task, and I always recommend really understanding where the starts and end of speed sections actually lie. So annoyingly on this task I was sat around here for the start thinking I was outside of the start. I was looking on my instrument thinking this was the start radius, which it's not. You can see this is turn point 2, and actually the edge of the start speed section was over here, so you'll notice that I'm still meandering around in the middle of the start gate when you can see a higher gaggle start pushing out, and indeed my instrument was actually telling me to leave. I didn't ignore it, but I thought it was telling me the wrong thing, or I'd set it up wrong. So there was a moment where I told it to just automatically go on to the next turn point instead of pointing me to start, because I thought I'd missed it, and then had another play with the instrument, looked at it again and realised I'd messed up. So at this point the instrument was telling me to leave the start even though it wasn't the start time, and that's because I had however many minutes to get from here to the edge of the radius. So I think it was saying something like 3 minutes until race start, and I was thinking I can't go because I've got to go back into here to leave, whereas actually it was correct. It was 3 minutes until the race start, and it was telling me to go because I had to travel from the middle of the turn point out to the edge of the race cylinder. So it was a silly mistake on the very first task. However, I did realise eventually and get onto the speed bar and managed to complete the start correctly before heading out to the hill in front of takeoff and climbing again. And luckily that mistake I managed to make up for in this first climb, and climbed really well to be back up with the leaders. So managed to make my way to the top of the stack again, and all the Brits were at the front. I think we had Martin, Andrew, Russ, Craig and Harry at the front on the way to turn point 1, and it was good to change gears because we were back down at valley level, tight with the trees, and yeah, we had to slow up a little bit, but it was all good fun. at this point I saw Harry dart off to hit the turn point 1 first, and you'll see him just here heading off towards it. I was watching him and I thought I'd take a few more turns and actually do the same thing, and my thinking was hit the turn point, come back and join the climb that everyone else is in. However, it didn't work out quite that well, and actually I should have just taken my height there, because Russ and a few others climbed out and had a really nice climb there. And although we're at the front of the race, we were now low and they were coming in above us, and managed to jump in front of us all the way to the hill just in front of takeoff. So this was mistake number 2 of this race for me. So as you can see, me and Harry hit turn point 1, I think, first and second, and we worked way back along the ridge that we came along low with a couple of others. But Russ and a few others took a climb near turn point 1 and went down the more easterly faces, which makes a lot more sense in hindsight. It's where the sun has been baking all day, and they had much more height, as you can see, hitting this hill in front of takeoff, which meant they were able to hit the climb at the top of the hill as well, which meant they could then proceed to the takeoff ridge at Grand Bornand again. I, on the other hand, was groveling low, as you can see, and had to work my way all the way around the side of the hill low. Wasn't really finding anything, so I ended up pushing on to the Grand Bow hill at the bottom, and was groveling for some time there as well. So from the bottom of Grand Bornand takeoff, myself, Baptiste and Sean found a climb which led us up towards the peak just in front of takeoff. It took a while, but managed to climb up to about 2,000 metres on the takeoff ridge and push over towards turn point 3. It was a bit frustrating seeing the leaders come back over my head the other way, but managed to make it work and climb this nice chunk of rock at turn point 3 up to about 2,000 metres again. So mistake number 3 for me was not taking this climb all the way as high. You can see Baptiste here is a good 200, 300 metres above me, and that meant you could hit the top of the takeoff ridge and climb out again. And I think this would have helped me get round the course. Instead, I left and just ended up groveling again on the takeoff ridge, and I just could not find anything decent to get me up. So I thought last ditch attempt to cross the valley over Goldfield and see if I could find something lee side, but yeah, just didn't work for me. So I landed at the bottom landing field, unfortunately.